city was under a siege, which lasted nearly 60 hours. As many as 166 people were killed, including 18 security personnel, and several others were left injured. 9 of the 10 terrorists were killed by the security forces. Amid the shock, anger, grief and horror which overtook Mumbai on that fateful November week, there were also incredible tales of courage, of a sense of duty, of men who faced terrorists' bullets. Football legend Diego Maradona dies of heart attack at 60. Renowned along with Brazil's Pelé as one of the greatest footballers of all time, the Argentine World Cup winning captain died of a heart attack. He had recently battled health issues and underwent emergency surgery for a subdural hematoma. In Argentina, he was worshipped as El Dios, the god. Rising to stardom from a grimy Buenos Aires slum to lead Argentina to World Cup victory, Maradona was a rags-to-riches story in his soccer-mad homeland and gained the iconic status. Veteran Indian computer industry, Captain Fakir Chand Kohli, popularly referred to as the father of the Indian computer industry, passed away. Mr. F.C. Kohli was the founder and first CEO of Tata Consultancy Services, India's largest software consultancy company. Be it the propagation of computerization in India, at a time when no one realized its potential, or bringing the benefits of IT, Mr. Kohli saw IT as an instrument of national development. 100 marine mammals have died after a mass stranding on remote beaches in New Zealand. The animals washed up on Rikahu, Warekori and Chatham Islands, according to a statement from the New Zealand Department of Conservation. Wildlife officials were notified of the strandings. 28 of 97 pilot whales and 3 dolphins, among those that died, were euthanized due to rough seas and the presence of great white sharks, which were attracted to the area due to the strandings. A Karikia ceremony was performed to honor the spirit of the whales, which will be left to decompose naturally. Heavy rain batters Tamil Nadu, Puducherry. A powerful cyclonic storm, Nivar, hurtled into India's southeastern coast early Thursday, uprooting trees and packing strong winds and rains as lakhs of people took refuge in shelters. The tropical storm weakened from a very severe cyclonic storm to a severe cyclonic storm, with a wind speed of 100 to 110 kilometers per hour, brought heavy rains. Determined to avoid a repeat of the 2015 scenario, several residents of Chennai City found flyovers the safer place to park their cars to avert their vehicles from getting submerged. The Border Security Force, BSF, found clinching evidence that the 4 Jaish-e-Mohammed (JEM) terrorists killed in the November 19 Nagrota encounter had indeed traveled to Jammu and Kashmir from Pakistan with the discovery of a 200-meter-long and almost 8-meter-deep professionally engineered underground tunnel on the international border. The location of the tunnel, with a diameter of 12 to 14 inches at the Indian end, was nearly 160 meters long from the international border and estimated to be around 40 meters long on the Pakistani side. A parliamentary panel on health has said in its report that with rising coronavirus cases and inadequate beds in government hospitals, private hospitals are charging exorbitant fees for treatment. The panel has demanded a sustainable pricing model must be brought in to help those suffering in the COVID-19 crisis. The committee believes healthcare should never be limited to only those who can afford to pay, but should move towards the noble vision of universal health coverage. The National Health Policy has set a target of government expenditure on healthcare up to 2.5% of GDP by 2025 from just 1.15% in 2017. India announced an agreement with Afghanistan to complete Shahtoot Dam, which will provide safe drinking water to 2 million residents in Kabul. Laying out the Indian initiatives in the Afghanistan 2020 conference, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar said, India will continue to support developmental activities and called for immediate and comprehensive ceasefire in the war-torn country. It builds on the 22 kilometers Fuli-Cymru transmission line of 2009 through which we provided power to the city, said Mr. Jaishankar, announcing that India will also carry out Phase 4 of the high-impact community development projects, which will include 150 projects involving $80 million. Two of Charles Darwin's notebooks, containing his pioneering ideas on evolution, and his famous Tree of Life sketch, are missing, believed stolen, the Cambridge University Library said. The British scientist filled the leather notebooks in 1837, after returning from his voyage on the HMS Beagle. The library said they were worth millions of pounds. In one book, he drew a diagram showing several possibilities for the evolution of a species and later published a more developed illustration in his 1859 book on the origin of species. India will soon launch an ambitious deep ocean mission that envisages exploration of minerals, energy and marine diversity of the underwater world, a vast part of which still remains unexplored. The mission, which is expected to cost over 4,000 Indian rupees crores, will give a boost to efforts to explore India's vast exclusive economic zone and continental shelf. India has been earmarked nearly 1.5 lakh square kilometers of area in the central Indian Ocean for exploration. One of the main aspects of the mission will be design, development and demonstration of human submersibles. The People's Liberation Army's misadventure in the eastern Ladakh sector has started to cost it heavily, as inexperienced Chinese soldiers are struggling to survive in sub-zero temperatures at heights of over 12,000 feet, with poor quality of clothing and accommodation. The Indian Army's actions, particularly in Galwan and on the southern bank of Pangong Tso, have put the PLA on the back foot, forcing raw Chinese soldiers to endure a freezing winter in an inhospitable terrain, reported the Taiwan Times. If you like our contents, please hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel.